Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon all of us. Good afternoon and good evening from Jakarta. Ministers and other esteemed officials, mayors and city leaders, distinguished participants. First of all, allow me to convey my gratitude, in particular to the city and community of Brest in France for their effort in organizing this important event. Addressing the issue of rising sea level is indeed of utmost importance, especially to coastal cities like us here in Jakarta. There is no doubt that at times, tackling the resulting challenges can be overwhelming by any city leaders. Due to this, the existence of this forum is more relevant than ever, both as a support network and as a platform to amplify the voices of the cities. As a coastal metropolitan area with a population of more than 12 million, Jakarta puts a high priority in encountering the effects of rising sea level. Jakarta is indeed experiencing land subsidence and saline water intrusion, even though it is already decreasing compared to what it was a decade ago. Furthermore, Jakarta's coastal communities are directly and adversely affected by the rise of sea level. Traditional fishermen, island communities, residents of coastal areas need to adapt and need to strategize in facing these situations. In this case, the government attempts to find solutions and to minimize the impact based on social, on economic, and cultural assessment, as well as by adopting science and its scientific approach. So leaders and distinguished participants, based on our experience, Jakarta believe that the multiple challenges resulting from the rise of sea level requires a network of solutions, all of which work connectedly by the local context and applied with consistency, persistence, of course, innovations and collaborations. It is with this concern in mind, Jakarta supports this forum and other similar forums which are dedicated to mitigate the effects of climate change. International initiative backed by science and backed by political will of international actors can be powerful first step in conceiving tangible, interconnected solutions which work at the local level. So another note of this network solution is effective local policies. Jakarta has tried to regulate the usage of groundwater in order to control the land subsidence through taxations of groundwater usage, groundwater extraction restriction zone, and most importantly, we also pushes the climate resilient low carbon development plan to mitigate and to adapt to climate change. But even with this regulation in place, we have to admit that there are limits in which a city urban management can do. Water, as we all can agree, is part of nature, and nature could not and should not be forced to stay within the arbitrary limit of man-made administrative boundaries. For these reasons, Jakarta started an initiative by collaborating with the national government and also with Jakarta surrounding cities in order to have an integrated joint planning to overcome water issues, especially those with significant impact in countering water shortage. This is one of the most promising steps in the adoptions of sustainable water management paradigm. In other words, a city needs to leverage any kind of water to maintain its water supply. And in fact, groundwater usage in Jakarta has continued to decrease, which resulted in the reductions of subsidence rates, which we are very grateful. We're so happy that the level of land subsidence today is much lower than it was a decade ago. With all the water-related initiatives in place, Jakarta is projected to sustainably meet the 100% of its water requirement by 2030. These efforts are further bolstered by the constructions of coastal embankment, which is integrated with the polder system utilized for flood control. Leaders and distinguished participants, Jakarta has started the effort to mitigate and to adapt to the impacts of sea level rise. However, we have to remember that our big homework is not just about sea level rise, but it's about the climate change. This is the ultimate challenge for all of us. So we hope that our experience lend a spark in the building of synergy between local government, national government, and other potential partners. With this in mind, I look forward to collaborating with all of you toward a climate resilient future for everyone. Again, warm regard from Jakarta. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.